And he said, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit, taking with him the hopes that the engineers would give humanity a second chance.
Then you know, a man and a woman, their bodies fit together, and the man's sperm fertilizes the woman's egg. Then the embryo grows into a baby.
Except for Jesus. His mommy didn't do that and he was born.
What if the engineers sent the crucified one as the last hope to connect with humanity? And in retaliation for killing their messenger, the engineers sent the Xenomorphs to destroy Earth. I'm a Gloomy Geek, and in this video I'm going to be a bit reverent as we explore how the engineers and the Xenomorphs connect to Jesus Christ. The idea might sound crazy, but there is some truth to it, specifically coming from the director of Alien himself. This wild theory might hold the key to understanding the world of Alien. First, who are the engineers? The engineers are an alien race of humanoid beings responsible for creating humanity and other species across the galaxy. In Prometheus, an engineer sacrifices himself to give life to Earth. And later, another engineer meets with Peter Weyland.
Speak to him, David. Tell him we came, just like he asked.
According to alien lore, after creating humans, the aliens often visited Earth. They were worshipped as gods, and they helped their creations. However, over time, humanity became ungrateful. Humans wanted to become the dominant species, which greatly disappointed the creators. The engineers sent a messenger to bring humanity back, but humans didn't respond kindly, and they ended the peaceful messenger by nailing him to a cross. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? To understand where the idea that Jesus was an engineer comes from, there's an interview with Ridley Scott from June 2012, where he discussed Prometheus. That's where this crazy idea originated. The article states the following, and I quote, "From movies.com, we had heard it was scripted that the engineers were targeting our planet for destruction because we had crucified one of their representatives, and that Jesus Christ might have been an alien. Was that ever considered?" Ridley Scott responds with, "We definitely did, and then we thought it was a little too on the nose. But if you look at it as our children are misbehaving down there scenario, there are moments where it looks like we've gone out of control, running around with armor and skirts, which of course would be the Roman Empire. And they were given a long run, 1,000 years before their disintegration actually started to happen. And you can say, let's send down one more of our emissaries to see if we can stop it. Guess what? They crucified him." End quote. It's never stated who the emissary was, but in the canon of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, the engineers did send one of their own to save humanity. However, it didn't work. The engineer, or Jesus incarnate, was crucified. Seeing humanity's evil inclination, the engineers elected to eliminate them.
You made it here, and it was meant for us. Why?
Sure, enough, for God's sake, shut her up!
Wasn't it? I need to know why. What did we do wrong? Why do you hate us?
What happens when the creator chooses to destroy its creation? Earth was a target for extermination after the engineers' crucifixion. It was only a matter of time before the engineers carried out their plans. Now I know what you're thinking. The engineers were already written out of canon. While many believe that to be the case, it's actually false. Just this year, the engineers made an appearance in multiple comic books, including Avengers vs. Aliens. This confirmed that the engineers remain part of the new Disney Alien canon. So if the engineers are still part of the Alien canon, what could be their plan? And how does it connect to Alien Earth? Prometheus introduced something named black goo, a pathogen the engineers planned to use to eradicate all life on Earth, but it never reached its destination. So what if in addition to the black goo, the engineers sent other contingencies, like the Xenomorphs, to eliminate humans? The arrival of the Xenomorph in Prodigy City doesn't seem to be a coincidence. Bringing the alien to Earth is just too risky, even for Weyland-Yutani. It's as if an external force caused the ship to crash, wanting Earth to be infected with these creatures. A cosmic plague has reached our planet, thus pushing the fulfillment of the engineers' wish to wipe out humanity in retribution for what the humans did to their emissary. So were the engineers the one behind the Xenomorph's arrival on Earth, in Alien Earth? In Prometheus and Alien Covenant, David is shown conducting experiments, which appear to be the origin of the Xenomorphs as we know them. However, the existence of the Xenomorphs may predate the engineers, which could be the reason why the engineer civilization appears to have disappeared. All intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations, like the Yocha or Predators, always try to weaponize the Xenomorphs, and the engineers were no exception. They would have also used these creatures to destroy civilizations. This raises the possibility that the engineers may have also fallen victim of the great filter of the universe, the Xenomorphs. Watch my previous videos to learn more about the great filter. Now, these ancient creators may have encountered, experimented on, and used these monsters as biological weapons to wipe out other civilizations. The Avengers vs. Aliens comic explains how the Xenomorphs could have been used. Part of that comic says the following, and I quote, "Seed worlds were not chosen at random, but once a world is chosen for the host, the process, regardless of which world it is, remains the same. Each seed probes carries 4 queen eggs inside it, along with 12 infected hosts in suspended animation. And then 4 locations in proximity of high-density population centers are targeted for initial infestation. Placed into suspended animation on the precipice of a life cycle transition, it takes almost no time for the host to yield their hidden bounty, a Xenomorph, the greatest killing machine in the history of the universe. Within an hour, these alien drones born from the chestbursters are fully grown, and within a day, a hive has been constructed so that the life cycle of the alien queen can begin. Days later, that queen is born and begins producing eggs. From there, the process accelerates. Within 1 week, each individual queen hive will produce a brigade of warrior drones. Within 1 month, an endless army. Within 1 year, a planet-raising horde. And remember, each seed probe contains 4 such queens. It is the perfect delivery mechanism for the extinction of a species, of every living thing on Earth, regardless of if they are baseline human or something greater." End quote. Now, isn't this what we are seeing in Alien Earth? A spaceship carrying a handful of alien eggs has crashed in a populated area, and a full-grown alien went on a rampage to find new hosts for the eggs? This Marvel comic of all sources sheds new light on understanding that perhaps something more than just a renegade cyborg, greedy corporate interests, or the mishandling of experiments was behind the Maginot crash. Perhaps the engineers were responsible, still seeking revenge for something that happened millennia ago, using the greatest lethal weapon in the universe, the Xenomorphs. So what do you think? Could the engineers be connected to the myth of Jesus? Did they use the Xenomorphs to destroy humanity? Are we witnessing the beginning of human extinction in Alien Earth? I'm a Gloomy Geek, and don't forget to like and subscribe.